All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. Happy Monday, July 22nd. It's 9:09 a.m. here. Taking a look at the markets. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I was having a little issue with the mic this morning. You can hear me, Mike? It looks like it should be working. Okay, perfect. Yeah, for some reason the input device got changed somehow. I don't know what happened there, but good to hear, Mike. Glad you guys had a good weekend. I think I picked up a little. The boy has a little cold, sniffly nose thing going on right now. He probably picked up from the gym or whatever. But so I'm battling with that a little bit today. So I'll probably be a little bit more quiet on the mic today, but still gonna run through the morning trade plan here and kind of see what we've got going for the week here. To kick it off, though, I want to take a look at Forex Factory calendar here and see what kind of movers and shakers we have for the week. Right now, we've just got a whole bunch of nothing lined up for today. Tomorrow, again, a whole bunch of nothing there. You can see there's not even any red news there. A little bit of existing home sales at 10 a.m. tomorrow may give us a little kind of flash move there. Euro's got some news coming out tomorrow or Wednesday morning, but really nothing again for U.S. until 10 o'clock there and a little bit of 9:45. Again, none of that's red. Crude oil inventories, of course, on Wednesday. Thursday here, a whole lot of nothing again. Some more Euro news coming out. We do have a little bit. We've got one final for the first one on the week here, a red news announcement, core durable goods, some unemployment claims and stuff like that. And then nat gas numbers coming out at 10:30 there as well. And then Friday, 8:30, we've got advanced GDP. So coming off of last week here, I want to take a look at a couple things. All right. Un momento. I like it when it does that. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, I'm speaking kind of. I feel like I'm speaking loudly, but I'm a little bit of sore throat, so it's probably on my end. Anyways, um, what we've got so far coming in today, we've got S&P's up 0.26%, NASDAQ up 0.40%, Russell up 0.33%, and the Dow up 0.20%. So NASDAQ leading the charge here again this morning, up the most on the day, followed by the Russell and the S&Ps, and then finally the Dow here. What I think we've kind of done here is basically kind of reset this move that we had last week. We basically spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in a downtrend. Thursday kind of popped up there, after looking like we were going to go lower here, reversed the move, got the nice gap up, couldn't really get anything going, and then just gave it all back and basically took out lows by the end of the day on Friday. This was monthly options expiration day as well. Not typically a day where you'll see, a large move to the downside. I mean, we gapped up, everything looked good. It looked like a situation where we'd pull back, which we did. We set up the buy setup right here, and it looked like, okay, we're going to be kind of, back off and run into the races there. But definitely not the case here. And this market just continued to just, stair step its way lower. And I say all that to say basically we're pretty much no further along than we were last week, unfortunately. Russell's back to the lower end of its range. NASDAQ, S&Ps are off their highs, pulling back towards support here. A little bit of a rally so far in the pre-market session here. Is it okay? I hear Eric only in my left side. I would not have any control over. That actually would be kind of cool if I could control which ear I'm speaking into, but I don't think I have that ability. Maybe I do, and I don't know about it yet. But anyways, I say all that to say, it looks like we have a pretty slow week kind of gearing up here so far. And again, we only have that one, news announcement, the one red news announcement coming up on Thursday, and then one more coming up on Friday. So I want to take it, slow and easy this week, kind of start off, making sure we're on the right foot, get a little bit better feel for this market, if it's going to continue to go lower, or if we are going to rebound out of these support levels again. So let's take a look at where the S&Ps are, kind of where they need to go, where they could go, all of those things. Nicholas has the same thing. All right, cool. I have a new superpower I did not know about. All right, so S&Ps here, we have just a solid downtrend in place here on on the smaller time frames. And in order for S&Ps to break that, we're going to need to move back up through 3,075. And so far in the overnight session, we traded a high of 29.88 quarter to a low of 29.7250. So we definitely broke through Thursday's lows and Friday's lows here in the overnight session. And we've rebounded a little bit of that move so far. At this point, we're gapping up here about 29.85s right in this area, which is pretty much into like a no man's land here. There's really nothing going on here. So what I want to watch for this morning is we do have some support levels we can kind of get down to, 29.6150s, 29.56 quarters way down in here. So we've got about 25 to 30 points worth of room from where we're currently printing at here that we can still continue to trade down into. There's really nothing, kind of along the way that can really stop us. There's a little level here coming in at 66 and change. But for the most part, we're pretty much, all ears for the down move. And what I'm going to be watching, let me see if this works. Oh, it mutes that. I changed nothing. Really? Do you have it unmuted? A little something with that. It should be sound. Huh, that's weird. It seems like there is some issues with sound this morning. I don't know what the deal is. It's really, really low. Let me see if I can mess with this. Does this make it louder, better, worse? Do I need to turn it back down? That's better. Keep going up on that. I mean, I just picked one of the buttons over here on this thing and started turning it, so I hope that's the right one. More of that. All right, how's that? Is that better for you guys? Better. Need it up a little bit more. Listen, I'm going to run out of turn space on this knob over here, and then I got about 20 more to choose from. Let me try and speak up just a bit here and get through this morning, and then we'll try and figure it out. So much better. Awesome. All right, so what I'm looking at here now, in terms of the S&Ps, again, we've got this room we can get, this area we can get down into here. And what I'm thinking here personally is we're going to be opening somewhere right around this 29.85 level or so. I'd like to let this kind of play itself out, pick a direction here in the morning. Can we get a little bit of a rally back? Yeah. I mean, do we really break the downtrend until we get over 3,000.75? No. Do I think we'll get all the way up there again? Not necessarily if we're going to hold the downtrend, but I do think we can get, maybe 29.90s, kind of poke through these, 29.88 quarter previous highs here from the overnight session. So I do think we could get a little bit of a kind of reprieve bounce in the morning. Like I said, maybe somewhere up in 29.90s, 29.90, something like that. I want to let that play itself out and then let a 5-minute downtrend from there kind of take hold. Basically, that's exactly what we ended up having on Friday here. if we look at a 5-minute chart, I mean, we never broke trend basically on a 5-minute chart here. There was one little time right in here where you could say we kind of broke the trend, but within no time we were right back into that trend again, and just continue to stair step our way lower, and following the 5-minute trend here. So I want to go ahead and keep that that same consistency today. If the 5-minute chart here determines that it wants to either fail on a uptrend trying to go higher, or if it wants to just continue into a downtrend here right off the open, that is the direction I want to play that. And again, just because we're right in the middle of a really, really big range. We can go much higher, 3,000.75. If we break through that, then we go back up towards 3012s here. If we don't go higher, then we go down here to 29.6150s to 29.56 quarters. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in and around that move, that we don't have to press anything too early on here before the market actually picks a solid direction for the day. Same thing is going to be true here when it comes to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ traded all the way up to 78.8850s here, down into 78.26 quarters in the overnight session so far. Oh, apparently it's only coming through one headphone, the left side. That's really weird. I don't know. I have to get it looked at. But we've got a support level in here, 78.35s. It's a really small support level in here. I don't expect it to actually hold if the market does want to come back down here. I mean, it did hold by about 10 points in the overnight session so far when we traded down into that level. But again, same thing here in the NASDAQ. We don't even have like a pivot we can really pull from here. We tried to trigger a buy setup right in through here. You can see prior highs here, 79.35. Next high here ended up being 79.37 quarters. And for whatever reason, markets just failed. We did get closes below on this first move, below the 41 quarters we were looking at here. We closed at 38.50s there. And you can see we retested 44.50s. The levels were 41s and change. So we pushed through by 3 points and then just continued to sell off from there. I'm going to do the same thing, same game plan here in the S&Ps, or in the NASDAQ as it is for the S&Ps. NASDAQ is gapping up percentage-wise just a little bit more here. Currently trading 78.74 is kind of right in through here. Even though it's gapping up the same percentage-wise, it's gapping to pretty much the exact same area on the chart, is right in between the open and close of this last 2 hourly bars for the day. So NASDAQ right here, 78.74. And if we look at the S&P chart here, we're gapping up right here about 29.84s, which is pretty much right about 2 points away from that level of these two bars. So I don't know that there is much to actually extract from the fact that NASDAQ is gapping up a little bit more, because they're both gapping to about the same area here in terms of the chart on the day. Moving on, take a look at the Russell here. We got a couple minutes to go. Russell here gapping up 0.31%, 1552.90s trading up in here. Russell traded all the way down to 1545.70s, and we did have a level in place here from the Friday trading session where, actually it was Thursday's trading session where I thought we could actually pull down into this 1545.70s level. We traded that level to the tick in the overnight session so far. Overnight lows, 1545.70s. Overnight highs, 1555.70s. So exactly a 10-point range in the Russell here so far. And I'd like to see that level come back and test again today. If Russell is going to basically break whatever this is that it's got going on here, that would be kind of the first chink in this armor here, is if we can actually kind of crack that on the day. That gives us moves in the Russell down here to 1534.10s. And then from there, it really can get pretty ugly, because that was the change of the trend on the first hourly downtrend out of this pullback here. And essentially, if we're going to maintain the larger time frame uptrend here, which is going to stem from the weekly and the daily charts, we get the rally up, we pull back. If you picture this on a daily chart, this is just a simple daily pullback. We rally back up, and we're slowly consolidating, going sideways to slightly pull back here on the daily chart. Again, if these levels start to break, then we're in the market for sub 1500 print again in the Russell, in most likely like a 24-hour period, if these levels can break here. So keep an eye on the Russell. This has, been a big laggard here for this market. And if it's going to continue to be a laggard, I think it's going to put some pressure finally on the rest of these markets, and start to pull them down as well, as, dip itself. As we've seen before, the Russell can go, 2, 4, 5 days straight down and the markets go sideways. I don't think that's going to end up being the case here this time if the Russell does start to kind of crack to the downside here. Last but not least here, the Dow. So Dow held up stronger. I really hate to say that a little bit, but Dow ended up not erasing all of Thursday's move here on the down move, and actually 27,105 is the support level we could have retested here, which was the hourly pullback so far in the Dow. We traded 27,093s in the overnight session, so we pushed through that level by about 12 ticks there, 12 points in the Dow, which is not too big of a deal, and then rallied up to 27,216, and we're gapping up here 27,174, 176 here at the moment. So we are gapping up percentage-wise weaker, but from a structural standpoint, the chart is actually a little bit better here on the Dow than it is in the NASDAQ or the S&Ps. So I'm a little bit conflicted here because, we have the Russell looking like it's, Russell's been consolidating sideways, looking like maybe it wants to break down. We've got the S&Ps and the NASDAQ completely reversing Thursday's move to the downside, basically like it was nothing. And then the Dow here just, kind of meandering itself down and getting a little bit of a pullback and maybe looking like it wants to still continue to hold the trend. This is something similar to what we saw last week as well, going into kind of Wednesday, Thursday time frame there, where, Tuesday's market pulled back, tested support. Wednesday's it finally broke, but the rest of the markets had already broken on Tuesday. So I'm a little bit, I don't necessarily want to say gun shy, but I'm a little bit hesitant to believe that the Dow wants to go lower here and in this downtrend or in this uptrend. But at the same time, it did this exact same thing to us last week. So that makes me a little bit weary of, is it going to hold or is it not going to hold? And the only thing that's really going to kind of determine that for us is to see what the price action ends up being for today. I think either one of these levels are tradable events today. If we trade down into 27,105s, I think we can look at long opportunities off that. Depending on what the rest of the markets are doing is going to dictate whether or not I think at that moment in time that the Dow is actually going to kind of catch up and break, and then have its nice move lower. Or if for some reason we get above 27,292, we rally 110 points out of the gates here this morning, then I think we can start looking at longs off the Dow there. If 27,105s break, 26,996 is going to be that next level below, so about 110 points or so to work with there in the Dow here. But right now we're smack dab in the middle of that range, and we're just going to have to let this play out, pick it a direction this morning, and see if the other markets can give us some confluence with that as well. Anyways, that's what I've got for you guys so far this morning. I'll be back in just a couple minutes for the morning power hour. Like I said, likely going to be a little bit of a slow morning while this market kind of figures itself out here. I was honestly really looking forward to a big gap down or a big gap up this morning, something about 3 times the size of what we're actually doing. So I kind of made it a little bit like Christmas. I checked quotes last night when the markets opened, and then didn't check quotes until this morning. I was hoping that if I didn't look at charts that we would see, a big move of about 20 to 30 points in the S&Ps, one direction or the other, and we're just not getting that this morning so far. So we're going to have to let this play itself out a little bit and kind of figure that move out. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys so far this morning. Sorry about the throat and the voice and audio issues and apparently everything on a Monday morning here. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out. If you want to join me in the MLT Discord, there's going to be a link in the description below. If not, I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, hopefully a better voice. Take care, trade safe today, guys, and I will see you then.